Alright, this is gonna be a pretty light video, just because not a lot's happened in the last few days, but there are a couple points of interest for you. First of all, Apple on Thursday announced that they're coming out with a new MacBook Air Pro, which is a pretty big deal actually. I mean, it's no news that Apple puts out a new version of everything every year, but this is really actually quite different. First off, it's a lot lighter and thinner, which for some people matters, not for me really. The biggest point of contention is it has no SD card slot, and it took out the magnetic power plug, and um, there's no HDMI, there's no USB 3, and but in place of all that, they have a really cool touch bar, and they have count it, four USB-C plugs, which doesn't at all make up for all this shit they took away. Um, Having only USB-C plugs just removes all the functionality from it. Not having an SD card port is massive for all the photographers out there that love their Apple products, because now they basically have to buy an SD card reader. And um, the touch bar that they've added isn't revolutionary by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a nice, cool touch bar, runs across the top of the keyboard, and it really doesn't bring anything new to the game. This is really just your standard run of the mill MacBook, except it's 1,400 to 2,400 American dollars, which is just way too much. And I think it's really a sign of the times that Apple's kind of losing their touch. So this current MacBook speaks volumes about Apple right now where they're at. On the same hand, Microsoft also announced a new product. On Wednesday, they announced the Surface Studio, which honestly is fucking bonkers. I'm not gonna tell you a lot about this because I don't really know a lot. Just watch the fucking video on YouTube. Look up Microsoft Surface Studio. It's running for $3,000, which is an awful fucking lot. But and it also, if you watch the video, it's vaguely, actually more than vaguely, it's quite reminiscent of the OG Apple all-in-ones, where you just got the monitor and everything's built into that. It looks a lot like some old Apple products, but just watch the video. This thing is fucking crazy. Having the twist dial on there is gonna bring a whole new level to a lot of the touchscreen capabilities. The thing is massive in the first place, and it's gonna be a great utility for a lot of artists and just really anyone that needs to use a sketch studio. Like, it's gonna be a massive upgrade. Um, in more political news, there's been protests with the Dakota pipeline. You're probably not aware, so I'm gonna give you a brief update. A couple months ago, or at least a month ago, the court system okayed doing an oil pipeline across four states. It's like in the Dakotas and the Montana, that area of the United States. I wasn't really paying attention at the time, but they've basically, Native Americans and environmentalists have basically been protesting as soon as that got okayed because of environmentalism and Native American burial grounds, which are everywhere. Um, and it's been progressively getting more and more violent. It's always been a small group of protesters, but you usually seeing large amounts of police in riot gear and using beanbags, pepper spray. It's been a issue with police brutality, and it culminated recently to a point where they arrested like 114 people in one go. But it appears that the protesters have gone away and construction has kind of resumed, at least as of this morning it has. So I'm not sure if they've given up, if they're going to try different methods, or if they're going to, regroup and pick up where they left off at a later date. We'll see how that works out. Also, there's been more stuff with Hillary Clinton's emails. I don't know how much you pay attention to that, but basically, Hillary Clinton, like 6 months ago, was found to have stored a bunch of government emails and personal emails on a personal email server, which is really kind of not okay, just because of security and transparency issues. And it's been a real issue with her because of, like, people already don't trust her, and now, like, who knows, these 33,000 emails that we can't look at because they've been deleted off of her personal email server. And it appears they found more. The FBI has actually reopened their investigation into her emails because they found more emails that connect to her as part of a separate and unrelated case. They still found them though, and they're not saying anything what's in them. They're not saying anything what the implications are for Hillary, and this is really actually comes at a bad time for her. The voting is in like a week, 10 days, so this should really hurt her a lot if the FBI lights a fire under their ass and gets on things and releases information soon, and it's bad, and it turns out Hillary was hiding whatever the hell. Well, we all know she's hiding something, but if it turns out there's bad things in these emails that they found as a part of these other case, this can really hurt her chances. It's already looking like she's gonna win, but Donald Trump doesn't need any more support than he's already got. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out with the emails. In lighter news, though, the fucking Cubs are in the World Series. I don't know if you heard about this. I don't know how much you follow American baseball, or, well, baseball in general. But the Chicago Cubs are in the World Series, which is fucking awesome. The World Series is like the top best game, of the of baseball. And don't get mad at me. I don't know how much you know about baseball and American sports. But the Cubs are in it this year, and Game 3 is tonight. It's going on as I speak, and I think they're winning. I don't know. I actually haven't looked yet. But at any rate, the Cubs are in it. It's been. Here's why this is significant. This is actually massive. It's been 71 years since the Cubs won a pennant, and it's been 108 years since they won a World Series, and they've won a pennant this year, and they're a strong favorite to win the World Series this year. So Chicagoland and Illinois in general is collectively shitting their pants right now, and it's pretty crazy. I haven't seen this much excitement about baseball like ever. I think since the White Sox won the World Series in 2005, I think I haven't seen this much excitement in Chicagoland about baseball in general. And nationally, there's national interest about the Cubs winning the World Series. It's just crazy. All right, that's it for today. I will see you next week.